Live from the rooftop of the Hermann London Real Estate Group in beautiful downtown Maplewood, it's the St. Louis Realtor Podcast with your host, Adam Kruse.
Welcome to this week's Hermann London Real Estate Group St. Louis Realtor Podcast. We are live here at the Hermann London Studios on the rooftop in beautiful downtown Maplewood, Missouri. And we've got a big announcement. Today is actually our 7-year anniversary. So May 12th, 7 years ago, we started the company. So we had a big company outing today, and then we all hit some golf balls afterwards. We're excited. I want to thank everyone who's listening, everyone who's been part of the company, who's been a client, etc. And thank you for helping to make us a success. So we're celebrating with episode 15 of our podcast today, and we have a very special guest in the studio today. I've got to be on my best behavior because we actually have our landlord here. Our landlord, or representative of our landlord, I suppose, Allie Fryrear is here from Red Brick. We are going to jump into some questions, but first of all, welcome, Allie, and if you don't mind, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you for having me. I am the Director of Marketing for Red Brick St. Louis, and I'm excited to be here. And congratulations on your anniversary.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What do you mean by Red Brick St. Louis? Do you guys have other offices across the
No,
country?
I mean, we just call it Red Brick St. Louis because we're mainly focused in the city of St. Louis. So.
Oh, okay, because you're mainly focused. Okay. And so you say you're the Director of Marketing.
Yes.
That sounds like a pretty big job title.
Oh, yeah. I'm the head honcho of the one-person marketing department.
Okay. Like, what do you do? What does the Director of Marketing do for an interesting company like Red Brick?
Sure. I'm responsible for the marketing of probably 1,200 to 1,300 commercial and residential spaces all over the city of St. Louis. So I'm responsible for helping to get those leased, both to huge commercial tenants and, apartment leasing as well.
Okay, so maybe I should take a step back, right, and explain a little bit about what Red Brick is, because it's it kind of doesn't fit a normal mold, right? You're not just a company that owns a bunch of investment properties,
right? And
you're definitely not just like a commercial real estate firm.
Nope.
Do you guys list properties for other people?
We do a little bit of third-party leasing for apartments, not on the commercial side of things, though.
So if someone owns a big apartment building, they can hire you guys?
Sure, yeah. For the most part, though, we own, the big buildings that we're doing the leasing for, we own most of those. We do some, condos and a couple, 4 families and things like that all over the city for third-party owners. But the big ones, we own those. Okay,
so you said that you are constantly marketing 1,200 units.
Yes.
You don't have 1,200 vacancies, I guess,
Oh,
right?
no. As of right now, our residential occupancy rate is about 95%. So it has grown, about 12% over the last year and a half.
Oh, wow.
We've had a lot of changes within the company and very exciting things happening. And so it's been a really fun year and a big adventure.
So 95% means if you own 100 apartments, that 95% of them have tenants and they're paying rent.
Right, sure. Yep.
Okay, and that sounds like a good number.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's a good number.
I mean, if I owned 10 apartments, I think I would want them all rented.
Right.
But when you own, and you say you have 1,200, you guys have 1,200 buildings, not just 1,200 units, right?
No, that's units. So there might be 4 in one building. I think maybe like 400 to 500 buildings.
Wow, okay. And so what are your daily job responsibilities as a lead director of marketing?
Sure. It can range from, monitoring our social media reputation to meeting with vendors to planning events to having resident functions. So it's just any number of things.
Everything. So so at some of your buildings where you have multiple apartments, you guys will host little events for the tenants?
So we actually have like neighborhood happy hours where we have, large focuses of apartments. So we had a downtown west one last month. We had a central west end one last month. A Soulard one at Big Daddy's in Soulard last month. So we just try to get the residents to come out, meet each other, and put a face to the name.
So you're just out and about all the time talking to people?
Yeah.
Okay, so I noticed on your website that you guys call yourself a recycler of historic architecture.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you come up with that?
No, I didn't.
You can take the credit. It's
Thank
okay.
you. Yes. Okay, yes, I made it up.
Oh, good. Good for you.
Thank you. No, but we definitely are. That's part of the reason that we don't really fit the mold of, a larger, commercial real estate or residential company, because all of our buildings are old buildings that have been rehabbed. So none of the units are the same. So we don't have, that big 90-unit building where every unit looks the same. I have to go take the photos for every apartment that we're listing on our website.
You're a busy girl then too.
Yes, I'm doing all the photos for commercial and residential spaces as well.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the company. Who owns this company? Pete
Rothschild is the owner. He is, a big name in St. Louis. He started buying property, I think, around the 70s, and he just kept buying, and it's blossomed into red brick.
So this guy, did you say Pete? Mm-hmm. He owns all of these properties, and he started buying in the 70s, you're saying?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Did you know anything about the market then, or how?
I think, it was a down market, and so he, from what he has told me, started buying when the market wasn't so great, and he just kept buying from there, and it just grew and grew and grew. His family actually owned Rothschild Antiques, which was in the Central West End, and that's actually in one of our buildings, but
of course.
He's turned into more of a real estate guy.
I love that I guess you're saying he just keeps buying and buying and buying. Any kind of property that comes available for sale, he's considering buying it, and he just finds a way.
They're constantly looking at things to buy. We definitely believe in saving old buildings. We have a building in South City that used to be an old Coca Cola factory, and it's renovated into 70 lofts.
Oh, wow.
And Perennial Artisan Ales is down there in that building. And then we have a project in Tower Grove that was, a pretty downtrodden building, and it's now being renovated into 26 one-bedroom apartments, and those will be available starting in July.
Okay.
We're renovating a warehouse on Olive in the Central West End into high-end apartments, so...
Always marketing.
Always.
When will those be available?
Yeah.
Good. I'm so intrigued by this. I don't know how much of this information you know about, how was he able to just buy? Was he taking out loans? Was he independently wealthy?
That I don't know.
And does he have a lot of business partners?
He does have, we do have partners on some of the buildings. A lot of the South City portfolio we have partners on. And then we actually have a general contractor in our office as well, and that's Blackline Development.
Okay.
So that's a branch of Red Brick and Rothschild Development. So it's Red Brick, Rothschild Development, and Blackline, and we're all in the same office. And so it's kind of like in-house, which is pretty cool.
Okay. I guess he's just had to be really tough through the years and just to keep buying things and dealing with tenants and problems and keep growing. And
Yep.
Okay. Well, good for him.
Yeah.
All right. So you're the director of marketing. It sounds like you do some Facebooking. You're kind of running around doing photos. You're having events. Of all the marketing that you do, we have realtors that listen to this.
Sure.
And we have, people that are just interested in real estate that listen to this. What marketing is working for you? Mm-hmm. And then I got a follow-up question of what is a waste of time, but tell me what marketing is working.
Twitter is a big area where we get a lot of traffic just from, retweets, and people see a hashtag and it says the neighborhood. So a lot of times people are searching, Soulard in their hashtags. So they click Soulard and we list our apartment there, and then it's like, hey, check out, this apartment in Soulard. So that's a big one. And then I would also say that Zillow is just a huge... we get so many leads from Zillow.
I have not felt as old as I just felt when you just started talking about Twitter. And that's embarrassing because I think I know a lot about Twitter.
Sure.
I tweet all the time or whatever. But I don't understand. Why would someone go to Twitter to search for an apartment to find?
They could be searching for anything in the neighborhood, and someone knows someone who's searching for an apartment, and they see this when they're searching in a neighborhood hashtag, and then they pass it along. So it may not be the exact person who's looking, but someone else may see it and pass it along.
Okay, so you'll post something on Twitter like...
Check out this Soulard apartment, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, exposed brick, and
hashtag
then a link.
Soulard.
Hashtag Soulard, hashtag STL, and then put the link there.
And then you can search Twitter for certain hashtags.
Mm-hmm.
So you search Twitter for the word Soulard.
Right.
Come across that.
Yep.
And then they go, tweet, hey, friend,
check out this apartment I found in Soulard.
Check out this apartment I found in Soulard.
Yeah.
And now, from your perspective, are they just going to click on the tweet, and then do they contact you through Twitter, or do you want to send them to your website?
Direct them to our website, so the link would be in the tweet as well.
Oh, so you put the link in there, too. Mm-hmm. Oh, you put the link to the apartment in there, too.
Yeah.
So you're generating a lot of traffic to your website that way.
Yep.
This is a smart girl. Okay.
And then, like I said, Zillow is the other, huge one. Zillow in the past year has just done some crazy things, and they're now linked with hot pads and Postlets and all these other apartment marketing websites. And so I posted an apartment yesterday on Postlets, and we already have 7 leads in the inbox from all different websites. Uh-huh. So
do you post your stuff on Zillow directly, or do you post it on Postlets or hot pads?
So for rentals, you have to post it through Postlets. They actually got rid of their rental tool, and they have partnered with Postlets. So it's now moved to Postlets. But it's exactly the same as how you listing on Zillow.
So you're using Zillow a lot, but you're not necessarily paying them for the ads and all that stuff.
Well, we do pay Zillow.
Pay to make your listings featured.
So we have a couple of like our larger buildings, we pay for ads for those. Just because, there's constantly people moving in and out. So we'll always have units there. But for the smaller ones, Postlets is free. So.
Well, so how does all this tech stuff that you're doing, does it bring a lot of traffic to your website? I'm kind of curious how much of your guys' business comes from your website.
A lot is also from our website. We get about, on average, 5,500 page views a day just on our website.
A day? Wow.
Yeah. I have posted apartments before at 9:30 a.m. and they are leased by 11 o'clock.
Wow.
People are just, refreshing because, and especially in Soulard, that's such like a niche market and people want those historic buildings and that's what they're looking for. And so when you're in the busy season like it is right now, May, June, July, those are going to fly off the shelves.
Yeah. 5,500 a day is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing is that you guys have these huge banners on the sides of buildings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So tell me, I'm just curious, where do you even print those?
You know what? We use a lot of different vendors. We sometimes use A1 in Soulard. I've used Fast Signs in Brentwood.
Yeah.
It's just
they print that stuff that big?
Fast Signs. Oh yeah. Yep. They're very quick. And then I was using, now I can't remember the name of them, but it was another one in Kirkwood. But we had a really great rep, and he got a new job. So I'm always shopping around for sign makers. But
okay. And I guess you don't necessarily use like trackable phone numbers on those banners.
No,
right?
no, we don't. Just because we do get so much traffic to our website, so that's kind of just where we're directing the traffic. No, we don't do trackable phone numbers.
And you guys have several realtors that work at your company, right?
We have 2 right now. I think there's a couple others that like obviously aren't directly in our office, but we have 2 in the office who are also working on the commercial side of things.
So when you guys have properties available, you don't even necessarily put them on the MLS.
No, they always go on. Like if we have a house for sale or a building, like a large building for sale, they're always listed on MLS.
Okay,
yeah.
But not your leases.
No, those are not.
And then when you have people that are in your office and they're the realtors or the real estate agents, do they just sort of specialize in one thing, like an area? Do they specialize in only commercial or residential?
Actually, both of the realtors in our office are in the commercial side of things.
Okay.
But then, for when they're working on the real estate side of things, they're doing more residential. So it's really just a mixed bag.
You also do open houses, but not the typical ones like we think of. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so our open houses for apartment leasing are kind of different because we allow people to come in any time of the day during the week, and they leave us with, a credit card or something in exchange for the keys to the apartments. And we have a red key system, so available apartments are on a red lock. So they get a red key, and the deadbolts are all red on all of the doors, so they can go to any of the apartments on our list and look at them.
Oh, wow.
That's and then neat. They just need to return them before the end of the day.
And you don't have trouble with that? People are not vandalizing or whatever?
No, I don't know that those people are going to be savvy enough to go to our website and find out that we have an open house program. So,
okay. You seem to be involved and just kind of getting around. It sounds like you go to all these different neighborhoods and everything. Yep. From your experience or from what you're seeing, what neighborhoods do you see, I guess, in the city? You guys cover some county too, obviously, because I'm sitting in the county right now.
Right.
What neighborhoods do you see as having the most growth potential?
Sure. I mean, Central West End is absolutely just booming right now. There are so many developments going up. I mean, there's the Opus development on the corner of Lindell and Euclid, and it's going to be, a high rise with commercial.
What is that?
On the
I
first
saw
floor.
that the other day.
It's going to be apartments, on the higher levels and first floor commercial space. So
we need more apartments down there?
Yeah, I don't know that we need more. Well, I mean, we always need more, I guess, but there's just so much going up. There's the whole Whole Foods development that's going in down there, and there's apartments above that as well. So there are hundreds of apartments being built in the Central West End right now. And also, I think the Grove is really growing.
Hopefully that Opus development, didn't mean to interrupt you, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Hopefully the Opus development will have commercial on the first floor.
Right.
And then parking on the next 7 floors or something like that.
I know. I think there has to be some sort of parking going in there because the Argyle garage, which is across the street from that, is pretty much full.
Yeah, it's full.
So, yeah.
I was visiting a friend in Tampa who lived in a big building, and they had commercial on the first floor, and then literally I think the next 8 floors or so was a parking garage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it was great.
Yeah.
Downtown Tampa's not as busy.
The Central West End definitely needs help with parking.
It needs parking.
Yeah, I mean, and those meter maids are all over it.
They are.
We'll get you.
Yeah, I went to an event down there the other night. I think I drove around looking for parking for 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Okay, so then I didn't mean to interrupt you. What are the other kind of developments going on?
The Grove. So, just straight down Manchester, down the road from you guys. There's just, coffee shops and restaurants and bars and music venues just popping up all over the place. And I just think the residents that live around there just really band together for the neighborhood and are really proud of their neighborhood.
So do you guys own much property in the Grove?
We own the building that's connected to Atomic Cowboy.
Okay. Where the like tower or tattoo places?
Tower Tattoo. And then, we don't own much down there, but it just really is. And they just have a really strong neighborhood association, and they're marketing for their neighborhood. You should check it out. For a small neighborhood, it's very strong.
And then when you're driving down Manchester, like you said, I know this. You see the huge Grove sign, right? And then there's all these kind of new businesses, and they've got Urban Chestnut now. Is the I guess the north side of Manchester or the south side of Manchester, in your opinion, maybe you don't know, have the better potential for growth for residential?
For residential. Oh, I guess the south side probably. The north side, that's where you kind of get into like more of the hospital development behind there. So there's not a ton of, there's a ton of houses that need a lot of work back there, but I guess just all around it, really.
Yeah, probably all around.
Yeah.
And maybe between the Grove and Central West End is that where all
that's
the Cortex
growing.
is?
There's
and all
a
that?
ton of, Cortex is back there, and there's just a ton of incubators back there. So that Cortex building is amazing.
Have you been with Red Brick long enough that you've seen a major change here in Maplewood?
You know what? I've been with Red Brick since December of 2013. So a little over a year. I just think Maplewood is just, side project seller. It's really awesome. But I just think Maplewood has always been a pretty strong neighborhood, and Schlafly's right down the street, and there's a lot of great coffee shops, and there's a lot of long-term tenants here who drive a lot of traffic to the neighborhood, I would say.
We love Maplewood, and I think that we want to stay. And so please let us stay as our landlord.
Absolutely.
I was looking at your bio on your website.
Sure.
It looks like you're kind of hip. You like to get out and go around, Any certain like events or community things that we should know about that you think people should check out?
Well, I just bought my tickets to Lou Fest today.
Oh, congrats.
Today's the secret sale. They're actually $50 for the 2-day pass.
Secret sale. Okay.
Yeah. So I love Lou Fest, and I love that it brings a lot of out-of-town people to the city, and it's just been growing a lot over the past couple of years.
So you're a music girl, because you also mentioned the concerts at the Botanical Gardens.
Yeah. That bio is a little bit dated. That was when I first started.
Okay.
I haven't been to one of those in a while, but those are really fun. Should check those out too. And then I actually live right by Francis Park in South City, so I love going to anything in the park. They have like art in the park and things like that. So
I've played some kickball in that park.
Okay.
And it's fun to go and walk around.
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of events that happen there.
Yeah, they actually just put in a coffee shop in the middle of the park.
They did?
It's so cool. Yeah. It opened last week, so.
Is that city owned?
No, I don't think it is, but
that's neat. They just let someone rent it.
I know.
out.
It's like right by the tennis courts. All the old men are hanging out there after they play tennis in the morning. They're going to make some good money.
All right, good. Well, I'm going to, unless you have any questions or anything in particular you want to say.
I guess, what's your favorite thing about Maplewood?
Oh, you're throwing it back on me here.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to turn this interview around.
One of my favorite things about Maplewood, I guess, is that it's kind of like, it's small enough that we can be involved in it. When we were looking for space around the city, we looked at downtown, we looked at Clayton, we looked at Kirkwood, we looked at Maplewood. And I wanted to be involved in something, And so it was neat to get our office in Maplewood. And within, I think, the first year or so, we definitely joined the Chamber of Commerce instantly. But we were able to make friends with other business owners. I got on the Economic Development Committee. And, when I go to the different events, people know my name. And I like to walk into the shops and
People
I actually go to the
you.
Post and I walk in there and they go, Norm, and they calls me that because I told them that I always wanted to have a place where like I was known, but
it's like Cheers,
that's one of the things I love about Maplewood.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The other thing is now when we tell people that, our office is in Maplewood, everyone says, oh my gosh, Maplewood's so cool, it's growing so much, it's this and that, and I guess it is, it's one of these things now where I don't notice probably the growth as much because I'm just sort of used to it,
right?
But it's a great place to be. Plus, it's close to everything. I live really near here, too. So.
And all the way down Sutton is just really growing a lot as well as Manchester. So
there's these new cool businesses coming
and
in.
then people maybe don't see if they don't veer off of Manchester. But there's a lot of great businesses down Sutton as well.
Yeah, I remember when the commercial market, I guess, was going down, just like everything else was. A lot of the tenants, I think, who were on Sutton were moving to some of the vacant spaces on Manchester.
Sure.
Which I guess then gave other businesses opportunities to open their businesses on Sutton. That
Absolutely.
type of thing too. All right, so I have 5 questions that I ask everybody.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
And you know these already because you listened to all 14 of the other podcasts.
Yes, uh-huh.
I'm sure, right? So I just like to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
All right, if you don't mind.
Is this like rapid fire? Or?
No, we don't have to talk really fast. So who lives under your roof?
Just me.
Just
by
you.
myself.
Okay.
Yep. But I'm getting a puppy on Saturday.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What kind?
A golden doodle.
And where are you getting it? Not some puppy mill, I hope.
No, it's not a puppy mill. It's from a farm. So.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Okay. A golden doodle. Mm-hmm. That's a golden retriever poodle?
Poodle mix, yeah.
Will it be like really...
50 to 60 pounds.
Okay, that's my dog size. All right, good for you.
Thank you.
And where are you your best?
That's a good question. With my family.
When you're with your family?
Yeah.
That's where you're most comfortable and
Oh,
where you
yeah.
shine?
Yeah, my sisters.
Okay, and so... You're a marketing person, obviously. You're the director of marketing. You're internet savvy. But do you have a favorite blog or podcast that you read or listen to?
You know what? I'm obsessed with This American Life. Does that count?
That's on the radio, right? Is that on NPR?
Yeah, it's on Sundays, but it's actually online. Like they have all the the archives, and I listen to that all the time.
What is that all about?
It's all different stories. I mean, it's really just anything you could imagine, honestly. They just tell a really good story, and they interview people, and
I think I've listened to that before,
it's
and
really
they are
good.
really interesting.
Yeah,
They're like
it's
pull
really,
you in.
Some of them I'm like, oh my God, they could be about like a serial killer, and the next week it could be about like a farm. You know what I mean? It could be just about anything. So it's very interesting.
Well, what is your guilty pleasure?
Pizza.
Other than listening to This American
Yeah.
Life?
No, pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah.
Well, then what's your favorite pizza place in St. Louis, if I might ask?
That's
Or top 3?
not a fair
Can I get
question.
top 3?
Okay.
Or favorite delivery and favorite place to go?
I really like Dewey's in
Okay.
Kirkwood. Well, they have them all over. Dogtown Pizza, even though it's frozen.
Uh-huh.
And Bono's
Where's that?
on Hampton.
Bono's. Is that a restaurant?
Yeah, they have I've never eaten there, but they have, good carry-out pizza, so.
Okay, I'll have to try it.
Yeah.
I always go to Jets on Hampton.
Okay, that's a national chain, though.
But it's extremely good.
But Bono's is a St. Louis.
I'll try Bono's. Do I need to order anything in particular?
On
there?
Tuesdays, they have buy one, get one free pizzas, so.
Is it thin crust, thick crust?
Both.
Both? What should I get, though?
I like the thin crust.
Oh, you're competing with the emos. All right. That's fine. All right, and who is your mentor?
I guess my boss. I mean, I've learned a ton from her. Our president of property management. She's also was in the marketing field, so she's just very internet savvy and just very smart about the way that.
Is that Louise?
No, Angie Hart is her name.
So I always ask people who their mentor is, and yours is Angie Hart. And you have an active mentor. It sounds like that's still you're currently like mentoring you. But how have you thanked them? Or her?
I made her wedding invitations for her. Does that count?
That counts.
No, but I think we, have a good working relationship, but also we talk easily and she's easy to be around. So.
And she knows that you appreciate her.
Yeah.
Especially
I
she
hope
will
so.
now.
Now she will.
I'm sure she'll be listening.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that is it
All right.
for today.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm glad that you came in. Thank you for coming in. And we'll send you a link so you can put this on your
Yeah, it'll be
Facebook
on the
stuff.
Red Brick.
Don't forget to tweet it.
I won't. And I'll hashtag Hermann London.
Thank you very much. And take care. And we'll see you guys for the next podcast coming up soon. Take care.